Welcome to Green Biz Studio. This is Elaine Shea, Verge Program Director, and I'm here with Daniella Foster, who is the Senior Director of Global Corporate Responsibility at Hilton. Welcome, Daniella.
Hi, it's great to be here.
I'm glad that you're here, and so I want to talk about Hilton because you just made a huge announcement. Can you tell me more about what happened there?
Yeah, absolutely. So just a few weeks ago, we launched our Global 2030 goals. So we have two very bold goals. One is to cut our environmental footprint in half, and the other is to double our social impact investment, all by 2030, aligning with the UN Sustainable Development Goals. But really the force behind this is to redefine sustainable travel and tourism.
So sustainable travel and tourism. So that is a really tough nut to crack. I know that when I go on vacation, I can't find that information sometimes in terms of sustainability elements and things like that. Can you tell me a little bit about how things will change with your new commitment and what Hilton is doing to sort of be able to achieve these really ambitious goals?
Yeah, so I think there's a few things. One of the X factors in sustainable travel and tourism is really thinking about the entire value chain. Mm-hmm. So when we set out with our 2030 goals, we have our two headline goals. We have 23 targets that sit underneath that. But all of it is underpinned by what we call our value chain, and that's our hotel and our guests. So what are we doing within our operations? That's our community. So what are we doing within the community and ecosystems that we operate in over 106 countries and territories around the world? And then what are we doing in our supply chain? So all of those together represent the value chain, and that value chain touches every single aspect of sustainable travel and tourism. So whether it's your environmental side, like sustainable sourcing, energy, water, waste reductions, carbon reductions, or whether it's things like sourcing and buying local. So part of our commitment is to double our spend on local sourcing by 2030. Wow. On the environmental side, we're the first hospitality company to set science-based targets approved by the Science Based Target Initiative. So we'll be reducing our carbon emissions intensity by 61% by 2030. So we're thinking about sustainable travel and tourism holistically, also looking at the economic side, looking at the social side, and looking at the environmental side. And all of those things together really help to...
I like that. So what is next for sustainable tourism and travel then?
Yeah, so I think there's two X factors for sustainable travel and tourism. One, I think, is looking across that value and supply chain and figuring out how do we all partner together. So how do suppliers partner with each other, other industries, governments, NGOs. So much of what we do in partnership, whether it's with the World Wildlife Fund or International Youth Foundation or the World Travel and Tourism Council. We have a lot of partners we work with, and I think that's one of the X factors. And then the second piece is going to be engaging guests and consumers. That is one of the missing elements that's critical, so engaging them along the guest journey in responsible travel and tourism. So one of the things I'm most excited about is a technology called Connected Room. So we rolled out Digital Key last year, which is the ability for you to open your hotel room door with your phone, pick specifically your room if you have a preference, and do all of that in advance. The next innovation is Connected Room, and that gives you as a guest the ability in the palm of your hand to completely control your hotel room experience before you even get in the room. So there's tremendous potential when you think about the sustainability side of it, right? So being able to control the heating, the HVAC, the lighting, all of these components that the guest can now control. And then also the potential to gamify that. So if you take certain actions as a guest, you then get to a point where possibly you unlock, a green badge or something like that. And then there are different incentives for you to travel with purpose, which is our entire corporate responsibility platform.
Definitely get a lot of people involved if you start gamifying that kind of stuff. That's a really cool future I'm looking forward to. Thank you so much, Daniella, for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.